Why am I behaving like a narcissist? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It is commonly the case that many people fear that they are actually a narcissist. Or, in other instances, they query why they are behaving just like the narcissist does. It is the case that I'm contacted by people who have watched my videos and read my blog articles, and they are concerned. They write to me and state, HG, I watched this particular video, or I read that particular blog article, and I do that, and I'm worried now that I'm a narcissist or that I'm behaving like one. Why is it? First of all, it's important to emphasize that the ability to recognize that you think that you're a narcissist or that you're behaving like a narcissist means that you won't be one. Why is that? It's actually quite a simple test. If you were an aware narcissist, such as like me, you wouldn't need to ask, am I a narcissist? You would know. You might not necessarily give it that title, but you would read material and recognize that that is the label that is applicable to you. In the same way that I knew that I was very different from those around me, and over time, as a consequence of the input from a former girlfriend, I became aware of the appropriate labels to describe my behaviour. It made sense to me. I'd always known what I was, even though I might not necessarily have known the exact word to describe it. Thus, I was never afflicted with the concerns of, am I? I just knew I am. I knew what I was and what I am, and it made perfect sense to me. It worked for me. It was effective for me. It enabled me to not only survive, but thrive. Thus, the aware narcissist never asks themselves, am I a narcissist? Am I behaving like a narcissist? Because they're already imbued with that knowledge. Aware narcissists are very rare. It's far more likely that you will come across an unaware narcissist. And the fact is, the unaware narcissist, on their own, never reflects and thinks to themselves, am I a narcissist? This is because the narcissism does not allow them to see what they are. There are some individuals that go around proclaiming that they are an aware narcissist, whereas in many instances they're not actually aware of what type of narcissist they are, and thus they fall into what is known as the narcissist who would be king. Watch that video of that name to understand more. Or they're not actually narcissists, they just think that they are, and they've got it wrong. In some instances, they're narcissistic individuals, low on emotional empathy, who enjoy attention and want to be seen as this wicked Machiavellian character because, well, they're a bit of an edgelord. I tell you what I am because you don't know who I am. I certainly do not go around in my private and personal life telling people that I'm a narcissistic psychopath. That would be the actions of an idiot. It results in the transference of power. Thus, if you're wondering, am I a narcissist? The fact is, if you are an aware one, you wouldn't be asking yourself that question. And if you're an unaware narcissist, you wouldn't be asking yourself that question because the narcissism wouldn't allow you to do so. Now, it is the case that some unaware narcissist might go and ask somebody else, do you think that I am a narcissist? But that has not originated from their own contemplation of their behaviours. No. What has happened is somebody's likely labelled them as a narcissist, and because it's stigmatic, that amounts to a threat to control. And thus, in the circumstances, in order to nullify that control, they've not been able to do so directly because the person that labelled them keeps telling them that they are a narcissist. So they go and speak to somebody else. My wife says that I'm a narcissist, mate. Do you think I am? And of course, the friend who hasn't seen the full gamut of behaviour that the wife has turns around and says, good Lord, no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And thus that affords that unaware narcissist the indirect assertion of control over the wife. Job done. The query, Do you think I'm a narcissist is not born from any internal reflection or introspection. It's simply a reaction to the accusation that was made by the wife. Thus, that deals with the question of, am I a narcissist? But it then leads us on to this other area of, why am I behaving like one? You may have reached the conclusion and understood, okay, I don't actually think that I'm a narcissist, and now what you've just explained in the last few minutes, HG, confirms to me. I know I'm not one, but why am I behaving like one? Why is it that I'm engaging in the very behaviours that you talk about in your various videos, and that which you write about in your various blog items? There are people that are concerned because they see themselves lashing out at individuals, losing their temper, cheating, that they engage in wanting to manipulate people. And therefore, whilst they might ultimately accept that they are not a narcissist, this leaves them with an alternative question, which is, if I'm not one, why am I behaving just like one? Why am I behaving with a flagrant disregard for the interests of other people? Why am I cheating on my partner? Why is it that I'm stealing? Why is it that I'm lashing out at people when they criticise me? Why is it that I'm engaging in argumentative behaviour going on and on? I seem to be bringing things up from the past. Why am I doing that? The narcissist has a wide range of manipulations and an extensive list of behaviours in the narcissistic dynamic, and it is frequently the case that a non-narcissist will be able to identify their own behaviours as being commensurate of that of the repertoire of the behaviours of the narcissist. And it leaves you scratching your head. It leaves you concerned. It leaves you worried. Am I turning into a narcissist? Well, the good news there is you can't. Once you've got beyond the age of 9, if you're not a narcissist by that stage, you won't become one. There's no such thing as narcissistic fleas. I've spoken about that in a separate video. So it isn't the case that you catch the behaviour of a narcissist and behave like one. Not at all. But what is it? What is the driving behaviour that is causing you to behave like a narcissist, and what can you do about it? Well, in order to receive that detailed insight, to explain why you're behaving like a narcissist, to give you that comfort and assurance as to the fact that you're not turning into a narcissist, that it is something that you can understand and do something about, I've created a short logic package which enables you to dive into the intricacies of why you're behaving that way, what's driving your responses, what has caused you to respond in this way. This is done to give you the reassurance and understanding that whilst you can behave similarly to a narcissist, it doesn't mean that you are one. It also provides you with understanding as to what you can do about it. Therefore, for a small fee, you'll be able to learn more about why you're behaving like a narcissist. It's important to understand you. That's even more important than understanding the narcissist. And therefore, if you have concerns about your behaviour and the way that you're conducting yourself in relation to other people, I would urge you to avail yourself of this inexpensive package to bolster your own knowledge and fortify your logic. Details can be found in the video description to obtain it from the Knowledge Vault. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.